Well, it's not the weather that's closing down our nation's famous. A half-hour special report, Noreaster 95, will show you the wrath and the path of this major storm. Wayne, New Jersey has hundreds of homes in flood danger from all the rain in the past few days. Driving or just standing still can be dangerous on the roads, as a car owner in Queens found out. And getting to the airports and then into the air provided a real problem at the airports.
George Smith's been keeping his eye on the storm in Long Branch, New Jersey. George.
Well, John, high tide is about 3 hours away from now, and things out here are likely to get a whole lot worse before the night's over. Seabright is used to this nasty weather, so crews are standing by in case conditions get worse. Tonight, there are blackouts in some areas.
Hopefully we won't have any flooding.
Karen Ladd and Jamie Latman live together in Long Branch. So far, there's no damage to their home, but they have different approaches to this storm.
I don't think it's that bad now, but my dad does, and I have to leave now.
I'm nervous about power outage, because we just had one on Saturday, and our house was out of power for 15 hours. So that's my nervousness.
Are you going to stay anyway?
Yeah.
Powerful waves are pounding the shoreline, threatening oceanfront homes. The Coast Guard is actually patrolling on land to help those in need. But this stretch of Ocean Avenue might as well be the sea. A car stuck in 2 to 3 feet of water.
Right now, this doesn't compare anything to the one that came through in 1992 over the winter.
There's still pockets of this area that are blacked out, and again, high tide expected in 3 hours. Things are going to get a whole lot worse. Reporting live in New Jersey, I'm George Smith. Let's go back to the studio.
All righty, thank you, George. Things aren't too much better on Long Island. There's flooding all along the South Shore, the North Shore, the East End. Power's out, the beach is taking a pounding, along with all the other things that come with this kind of weather. We'll have a full report from the island in just a few minutes. Uniquan is at LUCO's Command Center in Hicksville.
If you think it was wet on the ground, imagine the mess the rain made for people trying to fly out of New York. Bob O'Brien is at LaGuardia Airport with that story. Bob.
You know, Rosanna, whenever I have to fly somewhere on a night like this one, I try any excuse in the book to delay my trip until the next day. And there are a lot of people who had to fly in and out of LaGuardia tonight who wish they could have done just that. Pilots refer to LaGuardia Airport as the black hole of Queens on nights like this one. Not only is there driving rain and gusty wind, but the waters of Flushing Bay surrounding the airport can shroud the runways in fog. Dozens of flights into LaGuardia were diverted to other cities or canceled before they could take off for New York. There are still 90-minute delays on both departures and arrivals here at LaGuardia. Over at Newark Airport, there are 3-hour arrival delays, but no departure problems. Kennedy Airport made it through the entire stormy evening with no delays in or out. But here at LaGuardia, canceled was a common word on flight information monitors. Snack bars did a brisk business as delayed passengers ate while they wait.
There were 3 flights that were canceled from Chicago to New York because of weather. And we got on another flight with United Airlines, and coming in it was very bumpy. It was very rough.
You got here, but what happened to your bags?
Bags are on another flight, another airline coming into LaGuardia, so we're going to hang out and hope that they come in.
And where should you have been right now?
At the Pierre at a fundraiser for the U.S. ski team.
Some of those who could fly nowhere walked to the nearest airport bar to soften the impact of their frustration. People who are flying out of here tomorrow should have a much better time of it and get wherever they are going with no problem. And that's because normal operations at the 3 airports and far better flying weather are promised. At LaGuardia, Bob O'Brien, Fox News. Rosanna, back to you.
All right, that's good news. Thanks, Bob. So, John, what does this mean? Are we in for a nasty winter? Nick's coming back with a look ahead.
Plus, we will take a look back at some of the worst storms that ever hit us. You stay right where you are.
It's big, Macy's biggest one-day sale of the year. Look for our lowest prices of the season. Doors open 8 a.m. Wednesday.
Let's invest a little time thinking about you. Ever wonder what an education will cost in 15 years? Or in 20 or 30 years? Will you be able to stop and smell the roses? Isn't it time to look into the investment alternatives at Chase Manhattan? Because who knows? With the right investment plan, any life experience may be more rewarding. Call 1-800-AT-CHASE. Chase Manhattan. Profit from the experience.
The
The New York State Lotto jackpot is now $14 million. Thank you.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Right now, when you call Domino's Pizza, get 2 medium cheese pizzas for only $10.99. Choose from Ultimate Deep Dish, Crunchy Thin Crust, or Original Hand Tossed. That's 2 medium cheese pizzas, only $10.99. Get them large for just $3 more. Call now.
It's coming to life. Madison Square Garden presents A Christmas Carol, the magical family musical. Entertainment Weekly raves, wrap up the kids and go. It's New York's favorite new holiday tradition, with music from the composer of Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Pocahontas. Starring Terrence Mann as Scrooge and me, Ben Vereen, as the ghost of Christmas Present.
A Christmas Carol at the Paramount. For great seats, call Ticketmaster. Brought to you by Diet Coke.
Once again, experts are predicting an easy winter.
For Jeep Cherokee Sport owners anyway, its 190 horsepower engine, 4-wheel drive, and anti-lock brakes turn even the harshest conditions into a day at the beach. And now get no charge air and over $1,300 in option package values. Jeep Cherokee Sport, the perfect way to turn a wild winter into a mild winter.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Right now, when you call Domino's Pizza, get 2 medium cheese pizzas for only $10.99. Choose from Ultimate Deep Dish, Crunchy Thin Crust, or Original Hand Tossed. That's 2 medium cheese pizzas, only $10.99. Get them large for just $3 more. Call now.
You know, thousands of people on Long Island still don't have their power back from that storm that ripped into us over the weekend. Now they have to handle this one. Una Kwan is at Lilco's Command Center in Hicksville. They're pinpointing the areas that were hit the hardest. Una?
That's right, John. Although the news here is better at this hour, they have gone from a high of 9,000 power outages earlier tonight to about 6,500, although they have brought in extra crews to work through the night. It has been a day of incredibly high anxiety all over the island as the storm came pounding in. Fire crews arrived to find this tree knocked down, entangled in power lines, and burned. They suspect it set this house aflame. In cases like this, the wind also becomes the firemen's dangerous enemy.
The wind, once we open up the house, will affect the conditions of the fire, make the fire burn that much more intense, and creates a lot of turbulence inside. So that was the biggest factor we had to deal with.
Emergency crews all over Long Island have been put on standby as the rain pounds and the winds howl.
Most frequently, it's the wires down, arcing, trees down, creating hazards in the roadway.
Gusts of almost 60 miles per hour toss traffic lights around like paper lanterns and punch down traffic signs. As for traffic itself, it was a long and frustrating night for commuters trying to beat the worst of the storm home. Earlier, this was the Northern State Parkway, driving made treacherous by flooding. There was lots of flooding in low-lying areas like Freeport, where scenes like this brought back vivid reminders of previous storms. Some decided to plow through the high waters on the nautical mile. Others thought the better of it. In Long Beach on the South Shore, crashing waves were eating away at the shoreline. The tides several feet above normal, causing coastal flooding and beach erosion. The high tide was whipped by high winds, dreaded by local fishermen.
Don't let my boat sink.
Is the prayer on the lips of most fishermen tonight. As some pulled their boats out of the water today, others were out there battening down the hatches and hunkering down for the brunt of the storm.
As you see, we put on extra lines, and midnight tonight we'll be on the boat probably. Because we won't be able to get down here with the flooded tides, so we'll probably sleep on the boat. In case something happens, we can always start it up and get it out in the channel.
As you can see, there were a select few who seemed to glory in the nasty weather, but only a few. High tide came and went on the north shore of Long Island around 4 o'clock this afternoon, with a number of boats being tossed on shore and damaged. The new concern right now is for the south shore around midnight. That is high tide. I'm Una Kwan live at Lilco's Dispatch Center on Long Island. Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Una. With 2 storms back-to-back, it gets you thinking about what the rest of the winter's going to be like. Nick, any long-range predictions?
Oh, we'll give it a shot, Rosanna. Certainly it's a definite stab into the future, but sometimes, and a lot of the times, I guess we should say, we base our long-term forecasts on the movement of the jet stream, because that really steers the weather currents around. So in last year's winter pattern, where we had basically nothing, stormy weather was all along the west coast because the jet stream was bringing storm after storm in across the western states, and by the time they get to the east coast, they would pass north of us, and thus we stay mild. and basically dry with just an occasional rainstorm here and there. Now, the winter before that, I'm sure I don't have to remind you of that one because the jet stream was diving way down to the deep south. Thus, it was cold and snowy, and this kind of jet stream pattern also brings up that Gulf of Mexico moisture and moisture from the Atlantic Ocean. And again, the winter of 1993-94 definitely was snowy in New York City. Well, this year so far, this is the pattern we've been averaging the last 2 or 3 weeks, so it's not quite as prominent as the winter of 2 years ago. And the question is, will this pattern stick around through December, January, and February? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but from extensive research and extensive thought, and I guess, really, here's my winter outlook. Basically, slightly colder than average is what I'm thinking as we go down the road with an average snowfall. And I'm really basing this on a couple of factors that really do mean something. One of it, El Nino, that's the warming of the Pacific Ocean water temperatures, which actually affect the steering currents, the jet stream, and thus maybe just a typical upper air pattern. Well, that's my best stab at it. We'll see what happens as the winter comes along. And again, just a stab, as we would say. But nonetheless, Joe Moreno's in our weather center tonight, and Joe has been sort of keeping tabs on nor'easters past and present and has a report for us on them. Joe?
Nick, as you know, nor'easters have been pounding the U.S. coast, the East Coast, for years. But a lot of people are saying, well, what exactly is a nor'easter, and why do they target the Northeast and the New York City area? A nor'easter forms when a storm in the upper level of the atmosphere moves toward the East Coast. When this area hits the warm Gulf Stream, the storm forms at the surface and deepens rapidly. The storm, or nor'easter, then moves northeast along the coast, dragging in massive ocean moisture and very high winds. The result? Flooding rains, beach erosion, damaging winds, and sometimes even blizzard conditions. The legendary nor'easter of 1888 was one of the most destructive storms ever to hit the city. It was dubbed the Great White Hurricane and packed 80-mile-an-hour winds, dumping 21 inches of snow and mountainous drifts 15 feet high. The storm killed 400 people in the city alone. This is what it looked like just outside our Fox studios on 68th Street and 3rd Avenue. In 1920, a nor'easter combined with a full moon created a tide so high it flooded shorelines and wreaked havoc on this Far Rockaway hotel. So much snow fell during the nor'easter of 1935 that 15,000 unemployed New Yorkers were hired at 25 cents an hour to shovel it away. In 1947, a record 26 inches of snow fell on the city at a rate of 3 inches an hour. After the nor'easter of 1961, there was so much snow, Mayor Robert Wagner banned automobile traffic in and around the city for almost a week. A nor'easter in 1969 was dubbed the Lindsay Snowstorm after it took Mayor John Lindsay and the city by surprise. From a meteorological standpoint, the nor'easter of 1978 had many of the same features as a hurricane. We even had wind gusts of 100 miles an hour. The Halloween storm of 1991 lasted for almost 5 days. 1992 brought the worst nor'easter in 40 years. It damaged or destroyed more than 12,000 homes in our area and killed 6 people. It also turned the FDR Drive into a river. The storm cost New York State over $290 million in damages. The next year, we got hit with another nor'easter, which claimed the lives of 18 people in our area. February of 1994 brought 2 back-to-back nor'easters that blanketed the Big Apple with 22 inches of snow. The storms paralyzed much of the city, closing Wall Street, businesses, schools, and even the United Nations. As the technology of predicting nor'easters continues to improve, it is likely we'll be better prepared for the inevitable, minimizing the loss of property and life. Although this nor'easter is primarily a rain event for the city, the next one may not be. Roseanne and John, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Isn't it nice having Joe and Nick around the house?
What a team.
Yes. Okay, up next, we'll take you out to Wayne, New Jersey.
Folks there are hoping that their own river won't swamp them. We'll be right back.
Watermelons and dogs with spots are the kinds of things that make kids feel good. Moms and dads, on the other hand, feel good when their kids feel good. And that's why so many parents choose U.S. healthcare. Our commitment to prenatal and pediatric preventive care assures access to the highest level of care available. And that makes moms and dads feel really good. Almost as good as a kid feels when he catches a frog. U.S. healthcare. You'll feel better with us.
Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Stern's biggest and best super sale ever. Lowest prices of the season in every store, every floor, every department. Take an extra 35% off all already reduced coats for her. 30 to 50% off all coats for him. All kids coats, 40% off. 35 to 50% off sweaters. Dress shirts and neckwear, 30 to 50% off. Comforter ensembles, any size, $29.99. Plus, enter to win a new car. Stern's biggest and best super sale ever.
Hey, buddy, you're going about that all wrong. You gotta try this. The Wall Groomsman Beard and Mustache Trimmer. Only the groomsman has a patented 5-position guide. So you're guaranteed a perfect trim every time. Plus, it's got a powerful motor, pro-quality blades, and it's made in America. Whoa. You really should do something about that sink. The Wall Groomsman Beard and Mustache Trimmer. The right tool for the job.
Ted Boykin is a salesman, a dynamite salesman. He could sell a plate of ribs to a woman wearing white gloves. And if you ask Ted about his new Audi A4, he'll sell you in a second. He'll rhapsodize about its sporty yet elegant design, impress you with its German engineering, and put the hammer down with its affordable price. Yeah, Ted would love to tell you all about his A4, as long as he isn't on the job. The new A4, available wherever Audi cars are sold.
The news brought to you by Siemens Furniture. For the way to a beautiful home, see Siemens first.
It's the last 2 days to walk into Siemens Election Veterans Day sale. Get huge savings on everything in the whole store. Plus, you'll walk out with a free entertainment center, night table, lamps, chairs, or a recliner. Because we just added bonus gifts to special items. And you'll walk away without leaving a down payment, making any monthly payment, or paying any interest till February. It's the last 2 days to walk into Siemens Election Veterans Day sale and walk away with big savings, bonus gifts, and no payments or interest till February.
The storm this weekend caused some flood-prone rivers to swell up in New Jersey. Tonight, a lot of people are jittery about more rain. Mario Bosquez is in Wayne, where they've had their share of disastrous flooding in the past. Mario.
Good evening, Rosanna. It has gone from steady rain to light drizzle to back to steady rain right now in flood-prone Wayne, New Jersey, causing overnight worry for many people who live here. You see, the Passaic and other rivers got over 2 inches of rain this past Saturday. Now, they say this brand new steady rainfall is adding insult to injury, especially in one neighborhood where the people are being warned that the rivers may rise again.
Please come to higher ground.
The warning signs are out as the steady rain makes the water inch toward the homes. The people of Wayne, New Jersey, especially those who live in Hoffman Grove, have plenty to worry about. Here at Two Bridges, where the Passaic and Pompton rivers converge, high water in rivers already bursting at the banks from the weekend storm. This stream is normally only a foot wide. The water is coming right up to the houses now. What are the big worries here?
The rain right now, if we have any more torrential downpours or heavy rain, we'll be in quite a bit of trouble here because the river's already swollen the banks, and it'll come up about 3-4 feet, if not better, over the road.
Emergency management teams have already warned people to leave their homes. No one can forget the April '84 flood that claimed 4 lives.
If we get any significant rain, and it's falling right now, the rivers are going to leave their banks sometime overnight or Wednesday morning.
But like many others, Robert Dutko has moved his prized possessions to higher ground. And although it's still raining cats and dogs, they're staying put.
I'll stay until the last minute. I got my boat in the driveway. I'm ready to go if I have to.
And the rain continues to fall here in flood-prone Wayne, New Jersey. Meanwhile, they have set up an emergency shelter in case someone needs it at the Wayne Valley High School. And also, emergency management teams tell me right now that they are worried about all this runoff from the rains making it down to the rivers in the next 24 to 48 hours. They say that's when it'll really tell the tale about any possible dangerous flooding in the Wayne area. Live in Wayne, I'm Mario Bosquez for Fox News. John, back to you.
All righty, thanks, Mario, for that report. This ferocious weather, by the way, hit way too close to home for a guy in Middle Village, Queens. Close as timber sent a 40-foot tree smashing into his brand-new Lincoln. What a shame. Can always replace the car, of course, but those beautiful trees, impossible. All right, now, what is this storm doing to us here in the city? Well, we'll find out from Linda Schmidt. She's in Times Square. Linda.
Well, John, I can tell you it's starting to rain really heavy here now from what we saw earlier this evening, and the sky is starting to look very ominous. But believe it or not, with all of this bad weather, there are some people out there who are actually happy about it. This weather is great for food takeout businesses. It seems most people are staying at home and ordering out. How many pies do you normally deliver on a regular night? Without rain, how many pies do you normally deliver?
How many pies that I delivered in a nominal day? About 10 pies.
And how many have you delivered so far tonight?
20 or 25 pies.
You're a lot busier tonight, huh?
Yeah.
How much busier are you tonight than what you normally are?
About 30 to 40% busier than the normal.
Because more people are ordering, they're just staying in?
Yes, because of the rain.
But the rainy, windy cold is hurting restaurants, from fine French dining to Italian cuisine. Now, while the eateries might be suffering, I'll tell you the Broadway shows certainly aren't. The ones that we touch base with are packed tonight. But then again, I guess when you're dropping $75 for a theater ticket, you're going to make sure you make it to that show, no matter what the weather is like. Reporting live from Times Square, I'm Linda Schmidt. Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Linda.
All righty, listen, now you stick around. We have a late word from Nick Gregory.
A lot of people want to know when we're going to dry out.
Life as it should be.
Did you know Ford Escort comes with 3.9 financing or $750 cash back, buy or lease?
Why aren't you driving a Ford?
Compared to the going rate, 3.9% financing can save you over $1,600 over 48 months.
Why aren't you driving a Ford?
It's one of the best offers ever on the best-selling small car. In fact, 5 of the 10 best sellers in America
And counting.
are at your tri-state quality Ford dealer now. So it bears repeating.
Why aren't you driving a Ford?
Is there something you want to share with us?
A journalist on assignment.
I heard their boots shuffling toward my body.
A fugitive on the run.
So what are you doing here?
I'm a reporter.
You came here because of me.
And a secret
I'm not going to ever forget this.
they cannot escape. Showtime Original Pictures presents Laura Dern, Raul Julia in his final performance, and Vanessa Redgrave.
I am a survivor of torture.
Down Came a Blackbird. Only on Showtime.
9 Lives Plus presents The Return of Morris.
Ta-da.
Morris, I just love petting your coat.
Ever hear of hand lotion?
Would my Tabby Webby like something new for dinner?
That would really rub me the wrong way.
How about 9 Lives Plus? New chicken and rice dinner.
Oh, chicken and rice, I'm touched.
And rice is good for you.
Whatever.
It took 9 Lives Plus to make the first line of rice dinners. It's got the taste cats love, plus total nutrition.
9 Lives Plus. I've got you under my skin.
Club Med, life as it should be.
I got a passion.
626.
A passion.
Total luxury. Priced like a base Altima. Best warranty in its class. 626.
Passion for the road.
Lease one now. $229 a month. 626.
Now, tomorrow's commute, tonight.
Well, let's review some trouble spots for tomorrow morning, beginning at 9:30 until 2:30 in the afternoon at the Triborough Bridge. They'll have one lane closed down both ways for daily construction. At the 59th Street Bridge on the upper level, one lane shut down both ways after 10 a.m., again for road work. And at the Verrazano Bridge through 1997, in fact, on the upper level, one lane is closed at all times. You can always go to the lower level. We'll have Wednesday street cleaning rules in effect tomorrow. And I'm Candy Ross with tomorrow's commute tonight.
Alrighty, back to Nick. I had to go, hope to go foliage watching this this weekend. Nick, is this not going to be a good time, I guess?
Well, I guess in your case, I will say better late than never. I don't think there's going to be much foliage left on the trees after all of this wind. But, you know, at least you're trying. At least you're trying. That's a good sign. Next year, maybe we'll get them out there when it's nice and bright and colorful. Well, those of you that went out there, that's some good news. You know it was a beautiful season this year. All right, let's talk about New York City today. We did have the nor'easter, we did have the rain, and the rain is now moving up basically to our north. We're just about out of it. A little bit more to go, and then things will be getting better. All right, stats in New York City today. We did have a high of 48 degrees. The low was 40. That high, by the way, is the recent temperature. Almost an inch of rain. 72 in 1993, and it was 20 on this date in 1985. Still some light rain out there now. Was heavier earlier. Again, right at the high for the day, but we're socked in at 100% humidity. A gusty northeasterly wind. At times earlier, it was gusting over 40 miles per hour, even near 50 miles per hour at LaGuardia Airport. 2940, the barometer low, and it's still heading down. Okay, let's check the Doppler radar again. You'll find that the band of rain basically has been moving to the north. The last heaviest band basically crossing eastern Long Island, a little swath here, but notice there's a big gap in here. Why do you suppose there's a big gap in there? Because that's where the center of the storm is, and that's why we're very confident that things will be improving in the next couple of hours across the area, at least rain-wise. There's the center of the storm now, and again, you can see this big band of cloud cover really coming right on down from New England all the way back into western New York and western sections of Pennsylvania. And you can see it on the wide view of the radar. This, by the way, here is all snow, and heavy snow in some places of northern Pennsylvania, already a foot on the ground, same in parts of central New York State. And that snow band even made it into northwest New Jersey. We're up in Sussex County. They had anywhere from 2 to 8 inches of snow, that higher amount really happening at the higher elevations, but nonetheless, slippery travel in parts of our immediate viewing area. There's the storm with its associated frontal systems, and again, basically that big shield of precipitation from New England right on down into Virginia. And this is why, again, we really call it a nor'easter, because it drags in moisture from the northeast under strong northeasterly winds. Now that system will be heading up towards Canada tomorrow, so an improvement is on the way. We will still be cloudy mainly most of the day. Some sun will break through. It'll still be on the windy side, and don't rule out a passing rain or snow shower. But as we move on into Thursday, a little bit better. It'll be cold, but at least partly sunny skies will gradually return and stick around at least into the first part of the weekend. After that, some more problems coming in. Rain and wind diminish, chilly tonight, but temperatures will hold just about where they are, mid-40s for most places. Tomorrow, still a leftover shower in the morning when you wake up, still windy too, about 45. A little sun may peek through around lunchtime, but again, a passing rain or snow shower. A brief high tomorrow, 48 degrees. Breezy tomorrow night with, again, a leftover snow shower as we head towards the upper 30s eventually. Here's the 5-day forecast now, and again, we'll look for some sunshine and clouds on Thursday, about 45. 47 Friday. That'll be the best day of the next 5. And then a weak system for the weekend could cause just some rain or snow showers late Saturday and the first half of Sunday. Upper 40s for the highs, mid-30s for the lows. I'll have an update on all this for you tomorrow morning on 106.7 Light FM. John Rosanna?
All righty, thank you, sir. I guess that explains the great discounts and lots of rooms available at a lot of inns up in the northern part of our country. When I said I wanted to go leaf watching, they said, come on up.
And that's why I guess we got the nor'easter too, John.
All right, listen, that wraps up our special report, Nor'easter 95.
Be sure to get the early forecast on Good Day Wake Up starting at 5:30, and we'll track the storm right through Fox Midday News at noon.
And for now.